Hadouken! Shoryuken! What's that from, Matt?
That's from Tekken.
Yeah. You sure it wasn't Virtua Fighter? Mortal Kombat. Totally Mortal Kombat. It's Street Fighter 30th anniversary. And Capcom, keeping up with its current trend, is releasing a collection of Street Fighter games. Now, unlike the Mega Man X collection, this is not... They've done Street Fighter collections before, but none that have been this big. And I think one of these games hasn't even been released outside of the arcade until now. Yes, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection has been announced for PS4, Xbox One, Steam, and the Switch. What? That's right, Capcom's like, oh man, they sold 10 million units. We gotta get on that train, that gravy train. Okay, so there's a total of 12 games that are included in this nice little package. Those 12 games are... Do you want to rattle them off?
We have Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2... Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter Alpha, Super Street Fighter Alpha 2, Super Street Fighter Alpha 3.
I think you mean just Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yes, sorry.
You can draw this.
They're super. Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. My goodness. How many spin-offs of your sequels do you need?
So that's out of 3 Street Fighters, really. 12 games. How many versions of Street Fighter 2 are on here? There's 1, 2, 3... Hold on, I know I'm not...
I think there's 4.
Yeah.
There's Championship.
There's the original Championship Edition, Hyper Fighting,
Super,
and then Super Turbo. Okay, yeah, so there's 5. And then there's the original Street Fighter, which is, I don't think that they've released it on home consoles before. And then you get all 3 Street Fighter Alphas and all 3 versions of Street Fighter 3, which is a very beautiful game, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen any gameplay of Street Fighter 3, but the sprites are gorgeous. It's all very fluidly animated. Now, there will be online play, but for only 4 of the titles. And those 4 titles are Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. So pretty much the later installations of the 3 most popular games. So, what do you think?
I think that's a lot of fighting games.
That's a lot of street fighting. Fighting the streets.
If you were a person who is very into Street Fighter and you like old school classic looking fighting games, this will be the perfect package for you.
Yeah, and there's no reworked graphics like with Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers, I think was the full title of that. No HD redone graphics. It's just basically the original. I think there's some display options. I think you can make it look like the arcade game. There are some extras too. There are some like there's an art gallery, even so, but the art gallery is actually really neat. You can actually go in and look at each of the individual sprites if you wanted to, which I don't know many games that do that. Of course, there's you've got concept art, you've got music players. They could probably listen to all the music in the game. And Street Fighter does have some really good music. Maybe not Street Fighter 2 so much, but like the later renditions of those songs sound really good. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea for Capcom to be doing this. Although, Street Fighter is one of those franchises of theirs that pretty much gets enough attention, I think. It's not like Mega Man where they've gone 7 years without making one. It's not one of those cases. So, I do recommend, though, if you do get this, I'd get it on the Switch because you could play it on the go, and it's probably going to play exactly the same way on the Switch as it does on all the other versions. Because these are old games.
Yes.
Very old.
Coming out May 2018.
May 2018. Mark your calendars.